Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a very pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. Hopefully all of my American viewers had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday weekend-ish period of time. It's still the Thanksgiving weekend, I guess, even though I didn't really have the full Thanksgiving weekend experience. I had to work on Friday, but on Thursday had some good time with the family. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about some feedback for last week's video with the new camera, how you think the picture's looking. We have some upcoming videos to talk about. We will talk about the burning question that a lot of people who watch Stuff and Things plays seem to have, whether or not I'm going to be getting a PlayStation 5 and the new remake of Demon's Souls, a From Software classic. We'll get into that a little bit. We have to touch on the Seahawks because, my God. And then, of course, we will get to your questions, which I have right here in hashtag askstuffandthings. Lots of good questions this week. This will be quite enjoyable to go through these. But yeah, let's get started. Thanksgiving. It happened. It was nice for me because I got to see some family. My little brother and his wife and little daughter, who is my niece, I guess, technically, came in from Houston and they were visiting family. There was, of course, some family drama, as there almost always is, but we did the mom's Thanksgiving kind of thing, even though we didn't really eat there. I'm talking about, when I say we, I'm talking about me and Diamond, my fiance, and then we went to my dad's later. But it's been fun to hang out with family and see Charlotte, my little niece, who you have seen perhaps in some previous videos, but I don't get to see her very often. And of course, at the age that she is, she's 18 months about. They just change so quickly, and it's ridiculous to see how much she can talk now and all the things she knows, counting, and just any object you hold up, she will yell out the name of that object with varying levels of correctness, I guess, as she does it. But I don't know, she was over here today. We had coffee this morning, and she's running around like a maniac. She fell off the couch at one point and broke her lip open because babies at that age are constantly just throwing themselves off of things. But she started watching this crazy show on Netflix called CoComelon. And she came in the door and she was like, CoComelon, CoComelon. And my little brother explained that it is the show on Netflix that she's been watching. And so we finally turned it on for her, and she just became this crazy zombie. Like, you could put your hand in front of her face, and she would not blink. She would not turn from one side to the next. She was just staring at CoComelon, this weird, kind of poorly animated, sort of CG animated thing of little weird babies running around and singing songs. Anyway, she was quite pleased by that. She was obsessed by the fish that we have. We have a betta fish, but it was fun. Got a good hangout period with my little brother and his wife and baby, which I don't get very often. Hopefully some of you got to see family on this Thanksgiving. I know everything is crazy right now, and depending on where you live, I mean, I'm assuming you're in the US if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, but whatever state you live in, there may be more or less furor over getting together and having family gatherings. I know some states are saying, hey, you can only be with 6 people and you have to wear masks between bites of your Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know. I don't want to sound irresponsible, but we saw our family and we enjoyed seeing our family. And I can't really imagine a situation, unless someone was definitely sick, where we wouldn't get together with other members of our family. But yeah, how was your Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comments below. Because of Thanksgiving, we're going to be getting into upcoming videos here soon, but because of Thanksgiving and because I've been hanging out with family and spending time with them and been pretty busy this weekend, there will not be a Wednesday video on the Stuff and Things channel. There will be a Wednesday video on Stuff and Things Plays, but like I said, we'll get into that when we get into upcoming videos. So last week's Sunday Stuff and Thing was the debut of the new Canon R6 camera that I have been pining for and blathering on about for months now on this channel. We finally got to show you what that looks like when we're recording with the camera, as we are right now. I'm still tweaking some settings, still tweaking lighting setup. I have kind of maybe the final lighting setup going on right now, but I'm still going to be tweaking things with like white balance and exposure and everything else, and maybe even resolution as we record these videos. but it was quite gratifying to see the response that I had for the Sunday video, and then on Wednesday we had the Samuel Gawith revisited video, and a lot of people were mentioning how good the video quality was, and I think it looks great. I think it looks much better, is a huge upgrade over the old camera, but I felt like some people would probably say like, "Meh, the old camera looked better," or "Oh, I can't even notice a difference." But universally, anyone who commented on the video quality said that it looked much better. And that's nice to hear, because that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to upgrade quality, trying to make things look a little bit more professional. So that's what we're doing. We still have our 24 frames a second cinematic action going on here. I'm recording in 1080 right now, and this time I'm experimenting with using Canon Log. So it is a flatter picture profile where you can get more dynamic range information, and then you can color grade it more easily afterwards. So I'm experimenting with that. I'm also experimenting with my lighting setup, as I mentioned. You'll see some things changing, but as a whole, it's just really nice to know that you do notice the difference in video quality, and it will only improve from now. We have a good baseline, and things are going to keep getting better. All right, upcoming videos. Like I mentioned, because of the Thanksgiving holiday and all the stuff I've been doing with family, I'm not going to have a video this Wednesday on the main Stuff and Things channel. There will be gameplay videos on Stuff and Things Plays on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we're going to be starting our brand new game, which I don't even know if we're going to finish now. I'm just looking at things schedule-wise, and Cyberpunk 2077 comes out on December 10th, is it? Or maybe it's even December 3rd. I'm not exactly sure, and I know I want to play that. I don't know what I want to play it on, though. I don't know that I necessarily want to play it on the PS4 Pro, which I have, or on the computer. I'm sure it would look better on my computer, but then I also have to capture on my computer, capture the gameplay, and record my face cam while I'm doing that, so that might introduce some issues. We'll see, and I don't know if we start this new series, which is a horror game called Soma, is it going to take so long that by the time I get to Cyberpunk, then the zeitgeist will be over? Because the Cyberpunk is a huge game. It's this crazy, long role-playing game set in a kind of 80s idea of a cyberpunk technologically advanced future. It looks awesome. I'm sure it's going to be great. It's the same company that made The Witcher 3. Amazing game. So I want to play that on the channel. I don't know exactly when or how that's going to happen, and I don't know what's going to happen with the Soma series. I'm almost thinking maybe I shouldn't have started it, but we'll see. It seems very interesting so far, and I don't want you to say, oh, I'm not going to watch that series now because you may not finish it. So just maybe forget that I even said that and just watch on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Stuff and Things Plays. Hey! And then we also have some upcoming things on the normal Stuff and Things channel. Many people have been asking for it in Escudo Revisited, and we have Escudo on the way. I was finally able to get some coming to me, so that will be coming up soon. And also, we just did a revisited of Samuel Gawith, Squadron Leader, and along with that little package from our good friend Jason Buckner, a Patreon supporter, we also have a tin of Full Virginia Flake by Gawith, and that is something I've really wanted to get my hands on again for a very long time. I reviewed that probably around the same time that I first reviewed Squadron Leader. And so we will be doing a revisited of Full Virginia Flake sometime in the future, pretty soon. I don't know if I'm going to do Escudo first and then Full Virginia Flake, but we shall see. Now, as I mentioned, I've had several people asking me whether or not I'm going to get a PlayStation 5, because on the Stuff and Things Plays channel, some of the main games that we have played have been From Software games. They've been Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne, and Sekiro. And many people are saying, hey, the PlayStation 5 is out now, and the pretty major, I guess the major launch game for the PlayStation 5 is Demon's Souls, which was originally a PlayStation 3 game made by FromSoft, but now this is a remastered, remade version by Bluepoint Games. It looks amazing. I really want to play it really badly, and I really want to play it on the channel, but I can't afford a PlayStation 5 right now. You're looking at the reason, or else you're looking at the picture for the reason, the picture being taken by the reason that I can't afford it right now. I threw out some money on this Canon R6. I need to pay it off. I don't really have extra money to spend on a new games console, especially one that costs $500. But even that being the case, or if that were not the case, you can't get a PlayStation 5 right now. They're just sold out everywhere. So even if I could afford it, I don't think I'd be able to get my hands on one. But just know, if you have that question, if you were thinking of asking that question again, I would like to get a PlayStation 5 and I would like to play Demon's Souls. I'm just afraid it might have to be in the future a ways, because it's probably going to be a while till I get my hands on a PlayStation 5. If any of you out there have purchased a PlayStation 5 and you hate it, you don't like it, you don't want it, and you're thinking of just throwing it in a dumpster, instead of throwing it in a dumpster, you could throw it in a shipping box and send it my way, and I would give it a good home and make some content for Stuff and Things Plays. But I'm sure that's probably not going to happen. Next, and fairly briefly, we will touch on the Seahawks a little bit, some Seahawks chat. They just beat the Cardinals, so now they have split the series with the Arizona Cardinals. They have won one game and lost one game. We still have to play San Francisco and LA one more time. We beat San Francisco the first time, lost to LA the first time, so hopefully they can take both those games. I don't know. LA is looking pretty good, especially their defense. But now we are moving into a period where the Seahawks schedule gets a lot easier for a while. We get to play the NFC East. The rest of the division, the Cardinals, have San Francisco played them? I can't remember. But definitely the Rams have already played the NFC East, and the NFC East is the worst conference, or the worst division in all of football right now. They're horrible. So the Seahawks are playing the Eagles on Monday Night Football. I don't want to say it, I don't want to jinx things, but it seems like that's a fairly winnable game. It seems like they should be able to beat the Giants. It seems like they should be able to beat the Redskins, or no, the Washington football team. Sorry, I'm going to keep doing that forever. So it looks like things could be shaping up pretty well for the Seahawks. The defense seems to be getting better. And they're also getting Shaq Griffin back next week, I think. And he's been out forever. They haven't had one of their starting cornerbacks playing, or either of their starting quarterbacks playing, for a very long time. Cornerback, not quarterback. So getting him back, having Jamal Adams back now, the addition of Carlos Dunlap in the defense, maybe things will come together a little bit better there, and the defense can sort of climb back from being one of the historically worst defenses ever in the NFL. I am cautiously optimistic, and I hope that I'm not jinxing things now. We shall see. All right, gang. As I mentioned, holidays going on. It is Thanksgiving weekend, doing things with family, enjoying spending time with the family, relaxing a little bit. So we want to try to get through this Sunday Stuff and Things and make sure I can get it edited and ready for you to watch tomorrow/today. So let's get to your questions on hashtag #AskStuffandThings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at SATBradley with the hashtag #AskStuffandThings. I also will answer questions via Patreon, and I occasionally will pull some comments from YouTube to answer on the Sunday Stuff and Things as well. Our first question comes via Patreon from Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre says, "Hey Bradley, let me know if this has already been brought up or not. When partaking in vitamin N, do you often clench your pipe or not? I've noticed you prefer the straight stemmed pipes, which tend to be more difficult to clench. Thanks." Well, I just happen to have a Dunhill here, and I don't happen to have a lighter. Hold on. All right, we're back. We have a Dunhill pipe here. It is a straight billiard. It is a 1962 Shell Briar billiard. Will it focus on the pipe? It wants to focus on my eyeballs. There's the pipe. Focus on the pipe. Now it's focused on my face. This is a straight billiard. I do prefer straight billiards. And I find that if I do not have a pipe bit, please pay no attention to the disgusting corrosion on the stem here. If I don't have a pipe bit, it's very hard to clench. Or not very hard, but it's kind of painful to clench a straight billiard. But with the pipe bit, it's no issue whatsoever. Hey! I often will clench my pipe, even if it's a straight billiard. So there you go. That's your answer, Dr. Dre. Next, from Twitter, we have a question from Turf Smurf. Let me try to pack this down a little bit and enjoy it as we answer the rest of these questions. All right, from Turf Smurf. Hey Bradley, thanks for a great series on Bloodborne. Watched every episode and really enjoyed it. Last week you mentioned you were going to change the backdrop for the Sunday Stuff and Things show. Have you thought of using a green screen? Then you can have any backdrop you want. I have thought of using a green screen. I do have a green screen, but the issue with that is that it requires more work. Like, let's say I was going to put another backdrop in there, then I have to chroma key all the footage and then throw the backdrop. It's not a huge deal, but I would prefer just to have something that's actually there, something physical. But for, you know, fun things in the future, I can use this green screen. Occasionally, I've used it. Didn't I do like a Christmas video where I had like a Christmas tree behind me? I think I may have done that once, or at least I thought about it. Maybe didn't actually do it. Thanks for the question, though, Turf Smurf. Next from Neville Smith at TCTI. It's been a while since I've seen your Corallo di Mare. Do you still have it? How's the patina? I do have it. I brought it with me because I saw your question. The Corallo di Mare is a beautiful pipe. Again, we're going to have the focus thing because it wants to focus on me. I would rather it focus on my pipe. Focus on the pipe. There we go. Is it focusing on the pipe? I think it is. So this is an awesome pipe. This is a series that is no longer made, or at least as far as I know, it's no longer made. It is similar to their Capri Briar pipes that they would have. It's a rustication that's similar also to the Sea Rock Briar that Costello makes. But the Corallo di Mare was a special series where they would use virgin wood, and it was a very, very light and very, very, I guess you could say dry smoking pipe, because it was so, the briar had to be perfect for this kind of pipe. And so the Corallo di Mare that I have, this one right here, is one of the best smoking pipes I've ever had. You can see it was originally a virgin color, virgin wood, and now it is very dark and very aged. The stem is disgusting right now, and I need to do something about that. So that's why I haven't smoked it much on the channel lately. But I love this pipe. It is one of my best. In fact, I would put it up there against my Dunhills and my Costellos and such. I was at a pipe store in New York several years back. I can't remember what the store was. That's going to bother me. I went to several. And they had like new old stock Corallo di Mares there. All the stems were just completely disgusting and oxidized. They had never been used, but they had also just been kept out in a display case in full sunlight. And so the stems had just become completely gross. And they were around $200 or $300, which isn't that expensive for a Corallo di Mare, but with the pipe stems being the way they were, I was like, I mean, I didn't have the money to buy one anyway, but I just found it kind of odd that they would be displayed in that state in a pipe store. You would think they would have kept them under wraps so they wouldn't get so oxidized, or else go about trying to clean the stems and get rid of that oxidation. But anyway, if you ever track down a Corallo di Mare, they have a Punto Oro dot on them. So that's how you can tell the difference between a Corallo di Mare and a normal, I'm going to conflate all these different names now. I think it was Capri Root, where it's a similar rustication, but it's actually a stained pipe or a colored pipe, and they're not in the Punto Oro line. But these pipes are fantastic. Next, we have a question via YouTube from Coyote Car Channel. They say, hey, not sure if you'll respond, but here we go. Well, I am responding. I'm in search for a heavy nicotine hit. I heard you mention rope teas, but I've had a difficult time searching for it. I really would like to find a nice tea with menthol. Any suggestions? Thank you in advance. You're not going to find a rope with menthol in it. If you want to find, who makes the best ropes? Gawith makes some ropes. Look for, is it brown number 4? Or is that a Flake? I can't remember now. I have at least one review of a rope blend or a rope pipe blend on the channel. You can search for that. I thought it was brown number 4. I know I'm forgetting things. People can let you know in the comments below. But Gawith is kind of, the only ropes I've ever had have been Gawith. So check that out online. If you just search for Gawith rope, Gawith, you will find one. I guarantee it. Next, from Matthias Danielson. Hey, nice video, man. Really like the sound of this blend. I think he's talking about Samuel Gawith, the revisited episode for Squadron Leader. So I'll probably try to find it online. I also wonder if maybe you could do a review on Old Gallery if you haven't. And also, what is your favorite style on a pipe, rusticated or smooth? I have done Old Gallery. In fact, I answered your comment on YouTube and linked you the video. As far as your question, favorite style, a rusticated or smooth pipe? Well, right now I have two versions of a rusticated pipe. One more heavily rusticated, one more of a sandblast pipe, which I guess you wouldn't technically call rusticated. It is a sandblast. It's a little different. Rustification requires somebody actually, with an awl or a tool carving out these shapes. I like the feel and the texture of a rusticated pipe, but I also really like how a smooth pipe can feel. I have two straight billiards made by Dunhill. I have this, the 1962, as I mentioned, in Shellbriar, which is their sandblast version, and then I have a Rootbriar Dunhill, similar in age too. This is a 62, my Rootbriar is a 64. I like this for the feel in hand. It's very secure. There's just something very pleasing about feeling that relief on the briar wood. But then when I have my smooth pipe, my Rootbriar, there's something very pleasing about that smooth texture as well. And you can feel the heat a lot more in your hand. I don't know. They both have their benefits. I don't know that I would say that either one really has a drawback. It's just, I don't know. It's an aesthetic choice. I like them both. I'm probably not going to say, oh, I wouldn't want a pipe because it is rusticated or not rusticated, and vice versa. So there you go. Next, we have a comment from Over a Pipe. Ah, the old apartment takes me back. They were referring again to the revisited Samuel Gawith Squadron Leader revisited episode where I was showing the original review, me in my old apartment way back in the day. What's a revelation you have received by doing these revisiting videos? I don't have Twitter, otherwise I would make it a Sunday question. Well, I made it a Sunday question, Martin. A revelation from doing the revisited series, it has been interesting for me to do because when you haven't had a blend for years and years, you have a memory of what the blend tastes like. And one thing I've discovered going back and doing these revisited episodes is that my memory is actually pretty accurate most of the time, but how I interpret the memory of that flavor or how I interpret the flavor now that I'm tasting it again has changed quite a bit. All of us experience, all of our palates change over time, or at least I think that's the case. And it's definitely the case for me as far as pipe blends go. And something that you may have enjoyed 5 years ago, you may not enjoy quite as much now. And as you've been exposed to different blends, you'll realize that maybe you're looking for different things as you try more and more. And so for me, I haven't been shocked like thinking, oh, this doesn't taste anything like what I remembered it tasting like, but I have been kind of surprised going through some of these blends and realizing that maybe my taste has changed quite a bit since I did this initial review. Some I've liked less now, some I've liked more, especially with Samuel Gawith Squadron Leader. I think I appreciate it more now. In fact, I know I appreciate it more now than I did when I did that original review, because back then, I think I was looking for more just in-your-face flavor. I didn't have the ability to notice all the nuances that I think I have now, just because I've been exposed to so many more blends. So I think that's been the most interesting thing. And thank you for the question. But now, gang, it's time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Everyone who supports the channel at $25 or more on Patreon gets a special shout out every week. People like Ryan McFadin, MDoftheNorth, Kirk Crompton, Private Eye, Cody Striegler, Glenn, David Gaudreau, Gus, Jason Buckner, Jen O'Side, and John Leone. Thank you all so much for your support. And then we would also like to thank the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channel at $100 a month. People like Peter Straub and Bob Magee. Thank you all so much for your support. If you would like to support the channel on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below. If you support at the Maniac tier level, you get to talk to me on Skype or whatever every 3 months. That's crazy. And also the 25 or more tier gets you a special shout out. Obviously, all the support on Patreon is going towards paying off this new camera. And we have merch available. Look down below. There should be like some sort of bar thing under the video where it shows the t-shirts we have available. We also have sweatshirts. We have women's t-shirts. They say, I like stuff and things. I like stuff and things. I'm assuming you like stuff and things because you're watching this channel. And if you don't see that bar down below, there is a link in the description box as well to our Teespring storefront for that merch. And gang, just thank you for everything. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do that, and then I'll thank you for that. Like the videos, share the videos, do all that good stuff. It really helps us out, and it gives me a nice warm feeling inside knowing that you are appreciating the content. I hope if you are in the US and you celebrate Thanksgiving, that you had a great Thanksgiving and that you are continuing to have a very nice and relaxing Thanksgiving weekend. In the rest of the world, I hope you're enjoying your weekend as well. And until next time, until we meet again, I'm your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.